out here in the National Forest doing some dispersed camping, or as a lot of you have said in the comments, just camping, which I agree with, but technically dispersed camping out in the middle of the National Forest with my new White Duck Outdoors Avalon 16-foot bell tent. I'm super happy with this thing, and I want to show you what it's all about, go over some features of it. And I came out here with my 3 kids last night, ages 10, 8, and 3, and they did great all night. And I want to show you our cozy kid camp setup in here, how we make it happen, and how I got it set up, and kind of what's possible inside this thing, because you got a lot of room, you got a lot of things you could do. But I'll show you how I set it up this time. And yes, this video is sponsored by White Duck Outdoors, and they did send me this to try, but I'm gonna share my honest opinions. And honestly, I haven't found much that I don't like about this thing yet. It's pretty great. So I just wanna tell you all about it and share what I think. Gotta go over the features for you. So it's a 16.5 foot bell tent. So it's got one pole in the middle, which I'll show you in a minute, but one pole in the middle and then an A-frame door to support the opening. But I'm out here just solo dadding this weekend. Mom is away on a trip, and so I decided to bring the kids out to the woods. Dad decided, rather than continuing to try to kick the kids out in the backyard to play, I would just make them be outside and take them camping in the woods. So here we are. Anyway, I was able to set this thing up by myself. It took about an hour or so. I mean, I do have 3 kids with me, so, you know, regular interruptions and whatnot, but wasn't too bad. Basically, you know, you just lay it out and then in the position you want, and then you just go around and cinch all of those. There's about 10 of them, maybe something like that, and you get the 2 poles up. It just cinches up, pulls together, and sits up nice and taut. It's got these windows all around, about 10 of those windows all around the outside. And this tent has a cool feature where you could actually unzip the wall all around, and you could pull this up and have it be open, so that it's just basically like a sunshade or an open air tent, which is a pretty cool feature. These tents come equipped with stove jack, and to be honest, kind of wishing we were running a hot stove in there last night. Got pretty cold. I think I got down to about 25 outside last night, but next trip probably gonna want to set up a stove in there. And then right here I've got the awning set up, and this thing's pretty sweet. It's an extra attachment on the tent. It's optional, so you don't have to run it with this, but pretty cool how you can extend out your vestibule area here and do it in multiple configurations. It comes with 3 of these poles, so you could actually do it in a few different configurations. You could, you know, pop that end up to have more of a flat area here, or down if it's raining, or put all 3 poles in the front up, or what have you, or just maybe 1, and lower this side down if it's, you know, worse weather. And it's pretty nice when you're staking this thing out. It comes with these gigantic rebar type stakes, so it comes with a mallet as well, and it takes a little bit of pounding to get them into the ground, but man, they hold really strongly. This dirt is not the strongest dirt, and I thought it might just pull out of them once you put it under tension, but they all did great. I think it just gets to be so deep that it's gonna hold, but yet you can still pull them back out when you're done, so not bad. So one of the cool features about this awning is that there's a guy line right here that you normally have to guy out going from the door down to the ground right in front of the door, which is a little bit of a hassle because you kind of have to dodge it when you get in and out of the tent. But if you've got the awning on, that can serve as your guy out, where this main pitch line comes out to here and then guide down from here. So it opens up your doorway where you don't have the rope that you're tripping over right in front of the entrance. Pretty cool. And just for reference, I'm 6'2", and standing underneath this, my head is not touching. These poles look to be about maybe 6'4", so you can definitely get this thing up pretty tall, where you could stand under here easily. You could set up a little kitchen area or something underneath this, or just, you know, stow your gear out of the rain and still feel completely comfortable standing up straight. How's my hair? The door comes with these two doors. I've got the canvas door rolled back at the moment, and it's got these bug mesh doors as well, which is pretty nice. It's got nice large YKK zippers. They zip up really nice. It's all the way down to the bottom, and then also zips across that way. All right, but let's get to the good stuff. Let's go inside and show you how I kept 3 kids cozy and happy in here all night last night. So as you can see, super spacious in here. Again, I can't even touch the top of this, and I can spread my arms out completely side to side here, not touching the ceiling. So here's what I got running in here. I've got 2 large cots for myself, and I got my 2 younger boys over here in these little bunk beds. Talk about those more in a second. These are XXL. They're called big old cots. That's actually the product name for them. And they are big old cots. I might switch these out for some smaller cots, because if we put a third one in here with my wife as well, it'd start to get a little bit crowded. But I mean, you can see, if you're not running the stove, plenty of room easily for at least another cot in here. I've got everything spaced out nice and comfortable as it is, but you could certainly squeeze more in here, no problem at all. So like I said, it did get pretty chilly last night. Outside it got down to about 25. By the way, I just wanted to show you, this is how I know what the temperature was last night. This little Govee home thermometer just runs on Bluetooth, connects to your phone. It'll track the humidity and the temperature for you, and then when your phone connects to it, you can kind of see the whole history, so you can actually see exactly how cold it got over the night or how hot it got during the day or whatever. And so I love bringing this thing camping, hanging it outside, so you kind of know what you went through. So I've got 0-degree bags for all 4 of us in here, and then also running some pads underneath these cots with some pretty high R values. This one, I've got the Ampex camp bed. One of my favorite pads I've ever had, actually, to be honest. And then my girl here, she's got a pad 9.5 R value. I've got another video on that if you want to check that out on Ella Gear sleeping pad. And then I'll show you a shot of it from last night, but I had these string LED lights set up in here, using that as a night light. I had them up on the pole when we were just hanging out in here, and then when it came time for bed, I just stuffed them in the little phone pouch or gear pouch so that there was a little night light for the kids in here. And they all loved that. So that was cool. And also cool, I've had these on since last night, and you know, it's midday the next day, and it says that I've only used 36% of my charger there on a 10,000 milliamp battery. And so you know, that thing could run for several days, especially if you turn it off in the morning. I'll link those LED lights in the description. I got them at REI, but those things are great. They've come in clutch a few times. All right, let's talk about the pièce de la résistance here. Buzz and Woody, of course. Big fans of Toy Story over here in this house. So like I said, I was able to get both my boys on this thing, and they kind of liked the whole bunk bed idea. You know, it kind of made it a little bit more fun, give them a little space of their own. And this is the Kid-O bunk made by Disco Beds. You may have seen those before, and this is just a, you know, smaller youth version of it. And I was able to put my 3-year-old and my 8-year-old on here, and it worked out great. And one thing I always recommend when camping with kids, let them bring some stuffies. You know, you usually want to bring like way too many, but let them bring a few, you know, and it just makes them feel comfortable and happy and cozy when they get in their bed to snuggle up to their favorite stuffies. It's always been a big hit, always makes their bed feel homey, and so they want to get in it, and it just makes them feel more settled and secure when they have to get into this, you know, kind of strange place to sleep, especially for the little ones. Anyway, it's my first time using the Kid-O bunk, and I really like it. Took a little bit of jiggering to figure out how to set it up, but I didn't have to crack the instructions, just so you know. Pretty great. I think we'll be getting some good use out of these things in the future. I'll put a link as well to those if you're curious. A couple more things about the tent. Like I said, it's got these windows all around, easy open, and great ventilation. There is a zipper right here to be able to put a power cord through if you're running a generator for something. 10 windows all the way around the tent. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, there's a hook up here on the main pole, so you can hang a lantern. I threaded those LED lights through that last night. It worked great. Oh, and something that came in super clutch, even though we had 0-degree bags, like I said, it did get pretty cold outside last night, and it was 25 degrees outside, and once it hit 32 degrees inside about 5 a.m., all 3 kids woke up and started complaining about being cold. And so I did bring with me my little Mr. Buddy heater system, and these things are safe to run indoors, and this thing came in clutch. So I was able to kick this on for just a little bit at 5 a.m. and it raised the temperature in here about 10 degrees, and everybody just went back to snoring like right away. So that was nice. They run on those little 1-pound propane tanks right there. You can also hook up a hose and run a 20-pound tank on it, or a 5-pound tank, whatever. But man, this thing totally bought us a couple extra hours of sleep last night. So I was glad I had it. Also, what I have is, if you're running something like this, or even if you're running a wood stove, always make sure that you have a carbon monoxide detector. So I had this running in there last night. I'll link you to this one if you want, but pretty basic one off of Amazon. Tells the temperature and then has an alarm.
Please note that carbon monoxide excludes cheap ventilation.
That's the demo mode, so you can see what it sounds like. But if it detects carbon monoxide, then that's what happens when it goes off. Checks the temperature, carbon monoxide as well as the humidity. So that's how I was able to know what the temperature was inside the tent last night. I don't know if you can see that screen there. So I don't know, I can't say enough good things about this tent. I love it, it's great. Oh, I promised I would show you the A-frame. So here's the metal pole you can see that goes up to the front of the door. And those hook into a little pouch right there on each side. Gives you a nice strong open doorway. At the top up there, 4 ventilation holes in the roof, but this thing is solid. It feels like it could weather some serious storms, and especially if you're gonna be camping anywhere for more than one night, like I think it's worth it to spend the time to set this up. I mean, a normal tent, what takes like 10 minutes? If you didn't have distractions or you had a helper with you, I think you could set this thing up in 20 minutes probably, but even half an hour. I mean, why not spend half an hour setting this thing up and enjoying a nice, comfortable experience? To me, it's worth it. And I'm planning another video where I'm going to show you how I store this and how I transport it. I've got a little system going and I want to share that with you in a future video. So I'm going to link that into a playlist once I have that out. But so just a heads up, that's coming. So I hope this was helpful. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions or comments. I'll try to answer them, or I can get someone at White Duck Outdoors since they're linked as a collab on this video. Like I said, I can't wait for more adventures in this thing. I'm going to take you along with me. So stay tuned for that. Oh, and of course I've got a White Duck link in the description and a discount code for dad camps down there for you as well. If you want to help support the channel and you're interested in this product, buying it through the affiliate link helps me out a ton. But if nothing else, go check out their website. They've got a lot of cool stuff. This is just one of the style of tents that they offer, and there's so many more to check out that can definitely fit the size that you need and the style that you need for whatever kind of adventures you've got planned.